A world without sadness. How tempting would that be? Quite interestingly, statistics record that 81% of the American population consider happiness as the most important quality of life. Yet only 14% of them say that they are happy, whereas the rest of the 86% are constantly overwhelmed by misery. Now, before everyone rushes to a euphoric hideout where sadness won't interrupt, it is first crucial to see if sadness is as detrimental as what it seems. If sadness could be eliminated from this world, how would it look like? Or can I say, how would we look like? I would imagine a society where everyone comes together as a whole. No sadness, no tears, and therefore no conflict, and also called tea. Our hearts will feel enlightened every second on earth. And the risk that 1 in 5 chance of every Australian being diagnosed with a mental illness per year will be eternally eliminated. How perfect will life become? I was quite interested in how others perceive a utopic world, so I searched it up. The results still look alluring. I began to find commonalities. There's the presence of nature, a degree of technological advancements, and the shades evolved around cool colors, which are meant to portray a sense of peace and comfort. However, there was something I was searching for that wasn't there. Something felt abstract. Conversely, I searched a dystopian world and found the answer. There's something unique about a dystopian world that is not present in a utopic one. It's us. It's us humans. You see, we are not there. We are not in a utopic world, but found scattered in pieces in a dystopian society. Why is that so? Why are humans neglected in a utopic society? Firstly, we need to look back on how we define a utopic society. It is a society that eliminates pain and grief since in 1984. A society that eliminates freedom and consciousness seen in Fahrenheit, and a society that removes knowledge and literature seen in A Brave New World. These utopic idealizations have been created multiple times throughout history. However, none of them above resulted in happiness. Rather, a fear in the immune to sadness. Immune to sadness. How would that feel like? When we are challenged upon failures, a lot of us laughs it off. Because crying hurts, right? But what if the only thing we can ever do is to laugh it off? Throughout life, multiple people arrive and leave. If we can't feel the pain and sadness when they leave, then what is the purpose of smiling when they arrive? You see, sadness is not always the blood needle that takes some of you away, but the vaccine needle that, although both hurts, leaves you with something. Sadness teaches, and that is why it is important. Because we know falling hurts, we learn to balance. Because failing hurts, we learn to find alternative solutions to success. Ironically, vaccines are medicines to cure an illness. It actually injects you with a weaker version of the virus to make your immune cells prepare for it when it actually spreads. Sadness works a lot like vaccines. It builds us up with the strength to reject the same failures twice and to give us the confidence in taking another step forward. It is because we understand the pain of the virus, we know how fortunate being healthy is. Relatively, because we know how painful sadness is, we know how lucky it is to be happy. Sadness educates. Moreover, sadness unites. Alpha proposed an ERG theory, the hierarchical requirements of motivations for humanity. First there's existence, then relatedness and growth. Implicitly or explicitly, sadness performs all. We have all spent our earnings to watch tragedy films. We immerse ourselves in the melancholy of others, becoming a part of their story in their lens. Unlike any other films that knocks one off, tragedy movies make their impact slowly and unconsciously, targeting right at the heart of the individual. And through pain, there's love. And through love, there's life and therefore existence. Moreover, sadness forces us to reflect. It presents us with the pure reality, and we find pieces of ourselves that we recognize. This encourages empathy, making connections and therefore relatedness. Empathy is defined by Mosin Hammond as echoes of another person in yourself. How fortunate is it that we know that we are not alone, and sadness can become the strongest bond for connection. These connections through experience and vulnerability are priceless. Bill Bullard regards empathy as the highest form of knowledge, and it defines us as a character and as a human. It helps us to grow, for that we know we are living, not just surviving. Finally, let us all recall an immersive sadness, something that has caused a permanent scar in our hearts. The question is, why does it matter so much? The answer is actually really simple. It's because we once cared, once loved, and still loves. If we eliminate sadness, sadness is not the only thing we lose. We also lost the ability to love. So I guess this is why the utopic photos above did not show humans, because what is left of a human if we can't express love? I believe every one of you here has someone in mind that you love deeply. They might be right next to you or far from reach. The harsh reality is that they will all leave one day. And I hope when that day comes, we would immerse ourselves in sadness, because some loss is worth our whole life to grieve for. It's because what they gave you in this life is worth your whole life to remember and acknowledge. Sadness means that you still care, still love, and you're still human. So, if the choice came down to me, as much as I love this utopia, I would stand at this side. Because I enjoy learning through pain. I value a society of connection and empathy, and I have people that is worth my whole life to grieve for. Because it is here that sadness is a gift and not a fear. Thank you.